He was completely different. He was angered at one minute, loving the next.
I never had a headache like that before.
He was just seemed to be writhing in pain.
Roman Tritz was the last known survivor of a secret US government program to lobotomize mentally ill combat veterans. While many lobotomized World War II veterans had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, some seem to have suffered from what modern doctors would describe as severe post-traumatic stress disorder. Doctors had limited tools to treat the psychological aftermath of war, thus lobotomy was widely accepted.
It was one of those things where you accepted it because it was the only thing that could be done.
For decades afterward, Tritz recounted the pain of the surgery and the anger he harbored towards the Veterans Administration for subjecting him to it.
You see these scars here, don't you? That's what they were. It sounds like a old darn Grimm's fairy tale, only it's not a fairy tale. It's true.
The effects of his lobotomy were long-term. Even in his 90s, Tritz grappled with distinguishing between memory and fantasy.
Pick up my mind programs. I got to go or give up to the FBI. And I won't give up to that darn federal peer investigation.
He imagined he had served in Vietnam, had been abducted to Wisconsin from his English parents, and suspected that the FBI controlled him through magnets implanted in his brain.
Oh, when I first got it, it looked terrible. All right, see. Looked like somebody shot the old darn shotgun.
The brutal surgery was performed on at least 1,930 World War II veterans in the 1940s and early 1950s. Tritz was a decorated World War II bomber pilot. However, upon his return from battle, he began exhibiting symptoms of mental illness that alarmed his family.
My mom and dad felt it best that he be committed for the safety of the family.
Physicians from the Veterans Administration exhausted various treatments on Tritz before resorting to lobotomy. Medical records show that he underwent insulin shock treatments, electroshock therapy, and high-pressure water sprays.
Gave me that old darn insulin, you know, when I first got there, and put me on shock treatment.
Eventually, with his father's consent, a Veterans Administration surgeon performed a lobotomy on Tritz in 1953.
The frontal lobe or something, I don't know, they cut off, I don't know why.
A pick-like instrument was forced through the back of the eye socket to pierce the thin bone, separating it from the frontal lobes.
With a hammer, tap through the brain, wiggle it about, sever the frontal lobes, withdraw it.
Before and after close-ups of patient faces would be presented to the media as evidence of the surgery's success.
Miracle cure to the brain. Cutting the brain cures the soul. The media was all over it.
When really, the reality was much more bleak, with patients becoming emotionally numb and physically docile. Doctors of the Veterans Administration even issued a 37-point guide for families of lobotomized vets, warning that the procedure caused surgically induced childhood.
He'd always been kind and gentle, and after that he withdrew he just like it was a shadow.
Unfortunately, Tritz remained in the Toma Hospital until 1957 and was in and out of care facilities well into the 1960s. Tritz struggled to comprehend the true impact the lobotomy had on his life till his death at the age of 97.